Okay, in decimal we say we have 179. Okay, and Vlad, what's this equal to? What does that mean? What does this fraction represent? Do you know, Kevin? What does that fraction mean? How much is that? How about Ben? What's that fraction mean?
13 thousandths.
13 thousandths? So this is tenth, hundredth, thousandth, right? So we say that this piece here, this is the tenths column. This one here is the hundredths column. And this one here is the thousandths column. And we say this is 179 and 13 thousandths. That's what that number means. If we have binary, it's easier, but harder. Okay, so we have this number now in binary. We have 6, and then we have a 0, and then we have a 1, and a 0, and a 1. What's that column equal to? Take a guess. A tenth? How about you? What do you think, Amelia Bedelia? 2. 2 or maybe 1 over 2. 1 over 2? It's a fraction, so it's 1 over 2. How about this one then, Christy? What's that? 100th would make sense if it was decimal, but it's binary. So if this is 1/2 here, what would that one be? 1 over 4. Boom. How about the next one? 1 over 8. And 1 over 16. And that's it. That's how it works. So we have a half as our first column, a quarter for our second column, an eighth for our next column, a 60th, a 32nd, a 64th. That's fractions in binary. And what we can do is, so say that we take that number, and I'll just clean it up a little bit here. So we're going to put it down again, same number, 6. Like this, what you want to do is you want to go to the last column. So the process is you want to go to the last column over to the right that has a 1 in it. And you just want to start from here. So this is a half, a quarter, an eighth, and a 16th. So we're going to write that down. That's our denominator. And then we're going to take a look at that number and say, okay, what is that if that was just a binary number? And it's 1, 1, no 2s, and 1, 4. So 4 and 1 makes 5/16. And then we do this. We have no 1s, 1, 2, and 1, 4. That makes 6. That number's 6 and 5/16. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Yes?
How can we exchange the 0.013
Into hex? Or into binary? Yeah. There's certain numbers that go really well with binary and hex together. But this number here, this number here, you want to convert that number into this 5/16, right? You're going to have to get a number which comes close to this So here 5/16, and we don't even think about this in being 16ths. So you can convert this into decimal first and then find a number that's going to be close. But I'm not asking you to make this conversion. I'm just asking you to do the addition. So I'm not going to be asking you to convert this number here into binary with this fraction on it. We're just going to deal with purely binary fractions. So if you take a look at the back of the sheet, I'll just give you an example for addition. So say that we had 9 and 3/8 plus 5 and 9/16. That number. What we have here is we have no 16ths and 1/16 makes 1/16. 1/16 or 1/8 and no eighths makes 1/8. 1/4 and no quarters makes 1/4. 1/2 or no halves and 1/2 makes 1/2. Here 1 and 1 makes 2, carry. 0 and 1 makes 1. And what we wind up with is we do exactly what we did before. We go over to the rightmost column, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 16th. That's our denominator. And then we take a look. We have 1 plus 2 makes 3, plus 4 makes 7, plus 8 makes 15/16.
So you just add them up.
Yep. And then you go here. We've got an 8 and a 4 makes 12, plus 2 makes 14. 14 and 15/16.
So you just take the binary, it's be like how you add that up.
Exactly the way you'd add it up. Yeah. So two quarters become a half, 2 halves become a 1, 2 ones become a 2, and that's the way it goes.
Why is it always 16?
It doesn't have to be 16. We could have, say, a different one. Say that we had 2 or 3 and 1/4 plus 5 and 3/8. Here we'd have 1/8 plus no eighths makes an 8. 1/4 plus 1/4 makes no quarters and 1/2. We'd wind up like that. And here 1 and 1 makes 2, carry. 2 and 2 makes 4, carry. 4 and 4 makes 8, carry. So we wind up here with 8. Here we do the same thing again though. We go 1/2, 1/4, 1/8. That's our denominator. And we take a look at our number. We have a 1 and a 4. Makes 5/8. And here we have no 1s, no 2s, no 4s, 1/8. 8 and 5/8.